After years of abuse in a marriage to a psychopathic narcissist, um, one of the last things he said to me before all the court battles and everything was, all you ever wanted was to hear me say everything's going to be okay, right? And I said, yeah. That, and I was shocked. I was dumbfounded because that's really all I ever wanted to hear. And he turned and he walked away from me. That's what it's like to be married to a psychopathic narcissist. And that hurt really bad because, the whole marriage, after 2 children and putting him through college, that's all I wanted from him was just to hear everything's going to be okay. He was cheating on me with every friend I had, every best friend, every coworker that I had, he cheated on me with. And, he just turned and walked away, and it was the coldest, meanest, most cruel thing I could have ever imagined. Wow. And after that we had all the hearings and I found out that he parental alienated our children against me. And to call there when the kids were with him and knowing that they were just going to give me, one word answers to every question I asked them, it really hurt. And it would take a long time for me to get the courage up to even call because I knew it was going to be like pulling teeth just to get answers to any questions out of them, and they weren't interested in anything I had to say to them. Those were some really hard times for me. But that's what having a narcissist in your life will do. It'll give you a lot of hard times in life. And if you're down for the count, I mean, if you've had a rough life and your relationships have all fallen apart and you've gone a little bit further down than you ever thought you'd end up, then know that you're not the only one, and a lot of people are in the same boat as you are. I know I am. When I found out, when I took a hard look at all the relationships in my life, and I realized that every person in my life, save maybe 3, and they weren't even close friends or anything like that. They were just people I knew. But I went through every person I knew, every relationship I ever had since I could remember. And I was trying to figure out whether or not they were highly narcissistic. I'm not trying to judge anyone, or I'm not trying to put anyone down. I'm also, I'm just trying to protect myself. That's, for the most part, why I was going through introspection, just checking in my life who was for me and who wasn't, And the more I learned about narcissism, they mentioned the smirk. And oh my God, that got me. That way, when I went through my life and I looked at the people in it and I remembered that smirk, that culled out a lot of narcissists in my life. That smirk is so evil. It's when something bad happens to you and you look around, you don't know how that happened or why that happened, but you look around and you see someone with a smirk on their face, you'll know. It's a cat that ate the canary. It's a Mona Lisa. It's that smirk that, and you look at it and you might be blind to it for a very long time. But sooner or later, and if you're watching this, I do believe that it's time for you to realize that you have narcissists in your life. I mean, that's what I mostly talk about on this channel. And if you were guided here at all, it's because you might be taking a hard look at your life. Oh, I'm telling you, it can be very hard. But these are things that we need to do to protect ourselves. If you do find that smirk on someone's face and someone that's close to you, they're going to know when you're onto them. They're just going to automatically know it. Don't, you know, it's true. They're going to know that you're onto them. And, you know, you don't have to say anything. Whatever you do, do not call them out. You call them out and you'll be sorry. I called out my sister and my brother-in-law for being narcissists, covert narcissists. And, 3 or 4 months later, they laid in wait for me and jumped me and beat the crap out of me and took my purse. And so I didn't have my keys to get in my house or drive my car or my money or anything. You know, that's just how it goes when you have narcissists in your life. When I was sick, I had 104.5 temperature. And I was shivering all night, and I remember my mom was there. And I said, Mom, why didn't you do anything? Why didn't you, do anything? And she said, well, I thought you were faking it. And then I remember back to a few times when my mom said that to me, that I was faking it. Here's some questions. If you don't voice your opinion to anything, because you know no one's going to listen to you, that's a big sign that you've been scapegoated, most likely by your family. And if that's the case, you need to find out as much as you can. Or if that's the case, what I would do in that situation is find out as much as I could about narcissists. Because it's a good bet that you have quite a few, or maybe at least one in your family. And you're the odd man out. You can never have more than they do. They never, ever give you credit for the good things that you do, or the they never give you accolades for your talents, for your gifts, for the things that you've brought to them or other people. They just cannot give you praise for anything. And they'll always find fault with everything you do. If that sounds familiar to you, just know that you've pretty much paid off your karma. And if you keep your karma clean right now, you are on the road to ascension. And that's a good thing. Don't steal anything. Don't lie to anyone. Because karma is real. I know this because I've gone through this ascension thing twice in this lifetime. In many lifetimes, I have gone through this before. And it's all coming back to me now. I want to get this out there so I can help other people. It's really hard what you're going through. If you find yourself with no one to talk to, just know that you can text me or leave me messages on this channel, and I'll try to answer your questions as best I can. And if you stick with me, I promise you I can give you a lot of answers to your questions just on the videos I'm going to put forth on this channel. Knowledge Wise is my 4th channel, and there's a lot in believing in yourself. The narcissists in your life, they tear apart your self-worth. They do this systematically, and they do this intentionally. I know it's hard to imagine that someone that you love is really hurting you, but it's true that they are. If any of this sounds familiar to you, it's true that they are. And, that's something you're going to have to mull over, and you're going to have to, think about. And you're going to have to, what I did, and what I say on all my videos is talk to your guides. You have guides. You do. At this point in time, we all have guys that are here with us, and if you, when I asked them if they were trying to get a message to me, and if they were to show me dancing birds, and I saw these two crows on the top of this cliff, and they were right in front of me. I could almost reach out and touch them. And it was a windy day, so they were flying into the wind, and I was standing up there, and they were flying into my, like, towards me. And they were so close I could almost touch them. And they were dancing and diving and coming back and forth, and then right in front of me. I mean, it was gorgeous. And I couldn't believe it. I was in shock. But they've shown me a million more signs just as neat. I mean, just as beautiful. Just so many signs. They're talking to you all the time. And if you can connect to them. Make no mistake, you can connect to them. We're all being guided to ascend at this point in time. And if we don't, things are going to get a lot worse. I promise you that. So if you think it's bad right now, and believe me, I was homeless for a year. I wasn't doing what my guides were suggesting that I do. So if you want your life to be better, then start being more mindful of the things you say and the things you do, and try to clean up your karma. That is the first thing you should start with. Try to keep everything clean in your life. Don't lie, cheat, steal, any of that. And that's a first. Be very mindful of what you're doing and what you're saying. And I'll get back to you in another video. Thanks.